Everybody, Carter Allen here. Welcome to the Avalengers director's commentary of the entire series. We will start very soon. Just giving the stream a couple seconds to warm up essentially so you can watch and people can join in before I start it. And besides, I gotta load up the show on my Xbox anyway. If you don't know, yesterday, the finale of the Avalengers officially premiered. I was originally just going to do a quick Season 3 commentary. The whole show is done, and it's only an hour long when you put it all together, so I figured why not, do the whole show. And besides, it's been a long time since I did a commentary, and I figure, because Season 1 and 2's commentaries are likely outdated, I'll just full on redo them, So let me just get everything loaded up here. So it'll take a couple minutes, so just bear with me here. Alright, hook up that. Yeah, I'm very proud of how the Avalengers came out. Very proud of this show in general. I figure I'll tell the backstory of how the Avalengers came to light, because it's a very specific story. This all started with the Avalanche movie, a film I made in 2019, which was about me, just when I was a YouTuber, becoming a superhero after being kidnapped by two other guys that thought they were superheroes, and then I have to fight an actual villain by the name of Scorpio. Oh wait, I put in my old name. No, I'm not Avalanche TV anymore. I'm Carter Avalanche Allen. But yeah, that's the plot of Avalanche 1. Then Avalanche 2, younger me goes back into the past, or goes into the future to harass and attack me, and then he kills me from the future, but then unintentionally resets all of time and revives me. Lots of time contradictions. I know, it's funny, but I was very bad at storytelling back in 2019, so just bear with me on that. Then, in Avalanche 3, Avalanche is back. He finds out Big Bat killed him in one timeline, and then he's back to kill him again. So then he gets Spider-Boy's help, and they fight, yada yada yada, and then Avalanche wins, also yada yada yada. The point's pretty clear. It was just a lot of brutal fights, Avalanche survives them, so on. Okay, where's the... Oh, did I not make the playlist public? Hang on. Let me fix this. Nope, that ain't gonna work. Alright, well, I guess I'll just do it the other way then. So, we're about to start Season 1's commentary. Well, commentary 2. So I've already done a commentary before. Hello to all the people watching. Welcome to the stream. We are doing a commentary of my series, The Avalengers. I hope you're excited for this. Here goes. Oh, wait, hang on. Comment, help, review. That's fine. Alright. So, let's start with... What am I playing? I'm not playing a game. I'm doing a commentary of my TV show that I made. Well, not TV show, but series. So, here we go. The Avalengers complete series commentary starts now. Episode 1, there was always a conflict. We got the original Avalanche Pictures logo with, honestly, not nearly as much detail as the final one that released with Season 2. I still have to make a new one, because Avalanche Pictures is still making projects after this, because now Avalengers is complete. I can obviously do a whole lot more than I've been doing. I'm still very proud of this logo. Lots of unused concepts, though, like Spider-Man was in there from an unused Spider-Man film I never created. Things like that. Yeah, Avalanche Pictures. Now, we begin with Avalanche, who now has glasses, unlike the last time you saw him in Avalanche 3. Or no, in Milo 2. He's at the grave of Spider-Boy, wishing him, I miss you, and talking to him. And then he says, There's always a conflict, and it lies within our blood. This was filmed in my backyard, in case it wasn't obvious. There's Caleb Ryan, actor Spider-Boy, my younger brother. He believes that it's Spider-Boy, but it's just a kid named Sheldon Cooper. No, sorry, not Sheldon Cooper. That's the name of the guy from Big Bang Theory, but Sheldon. The custom suit. Lots of storylines. Things like that. A secret story. Yeah, sure, double cheeseburger. Most of this was improvised. Tiffany, and she hated you. Season 1 and 2 were mostly improvised dialogue and so on. Actually, you know what? Forget this. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm going to just go and do commentary of select episodes and not the whole thing, because I've told most of the behind-the-scenes facts before, and I don't think I need to repeat them. So let's just go straight to episode 4, It's Your Fate, because I want to talk about this one again, because it's really good. The Avalengers Season 1, really good season. I was proud of filming it, but I'll give my other opinions on the series as we go on. It's not anymore. That's not happening until I've kicked your ass. Very iconic line. That's MK1 Raiden, in case it wasn't obvious. The sound effects and stuff for MK1 Raiden. Then we have me literally throwing another me into the air. Then Stark flying back and forth. Animating that me throwing him took me over 35 minutes to do, if I remember correctly. Then we have this little bit. Lots of just, like, gameplay that's like a parody of Raiden from Mortal Kombat, but that's just because I love the way Raiden plays in those games. Then you got Spider-Boy absolutely torturing the hell out of Astro. The laser eyes were a really old concept with Stark before he renamed him to Stark. Which, then I ended up... So, like, Stark wasn't originally Stark. He was a character named Therpus, and then I didn't end up using Therpus because I thought that name was stupid the more I, like, listened to it. So then, not just did I keep Therpus as his own character, I made him actually be related to Stark by them being cousins, and then Therpus being dead. He loses, and then Astro, of course, loses his immortality powers. Which now makes him vulnerable. He loses his iconic mask, which is just a black bone mask. And then you get this moment of Sheldon wishing goodbye to Ryan. This entire segment was also improvised by Caleb Ryan, the actor who plays the legendary Spider-Boy. Tell my mom not to make mac and cheese anymore. God, I love that line. I just green screened myself standing there going like, ah! Because honestly, I didn't know what I was going to do until after I recorded this, so then I had Spider-Boy do the iconic stab with the lightning stick. I forgot I had Avalanche get angry at Stark. What I will say, though, is I did make a really big mistake here production-wise. I really should have had Stark be, like, more visibly in the scene and, like, talking and stuff. Because, like, I feel like if he was physically here and, like, chatting with the characters, it would make more sense. You got this, like, Shang Tsung moment of, like, a soul crawling into the body of a character. Only for the truth to be there. Sheldon is no more. Only Spider-Boy. Definitely some of my best work here. I'm very proud of this episode. Rest in peace to Sheldon. Dude was an actual legend. And then the fake out with the end. Then you got Spider-Boy singing The Carpenters. Why do birds suddenly appear every time one in? Just like, oh, from the sky, every time you walk by. just like me. Very good episode. Alright, now we'll do one episode of Season 2, and then we're going straight to the Season 3 commentary. I thought it would be cool to do the whole series again, but honestly I shared all the behind-the-scenes stuff that really needs to be shared, so I won't do that again. Let's do Order Up. Talking about outnumbered, right, Spider-Boy? We had some scheduling conflicts, so that's why Spider-Boy only makes a cameo in this season. He originally was going to be a full-fledged character during this fight, but sadly, you know, conflicts happen. Of course, the clashes are from Mortal Kombat and Injustice. That's where I got the clash idea. We got this iconic scene where Anarchist finally has enough of... Anarchist has finally had enough, and he finally screams at Astro and calls him out for being incapable of this. Whoa, teammates. Going to kill Avalanche and destroy the Aquaman reference. Oof. Most of the dialogue in these two seasons were improvised, and then the third season was fully scripted. With a few exceptions of improv. Very short intro there. Originally there was going to be a full-fledged intro, but I just didn't know what exactly to do. If I remember correctly. There was also an unused one with Stark, but Stark died, so I didn't end up keeping it. But obviously the unused intro is on YouTube. It's like Stark, when Stark's about to pick up Avalanche as he gets hit by the 2060 Ruby RC, he misses and Avalanche falls down, and then Stark has to go get him again. Stark's a legend. This is probably my favorite part of the entire show right here. This entire montage of Avalanche and Astro killing Anarchist and reversing time. Car by chance? Billy, of course, being Ghostface. You know what? This is my favorite kill. Surprise! The light, the stab. I don't think I need to explain myself on how great this kill was. Well done, Pookies. I don't know why I call him Pookie. The glare in the sun, that was on accident, but it was so good I kept it. What you say? You know, copyright. I'll mute it. What you when he made well, cause he did. What you say? It's the same footage over and over and over. It truly does make this joke a whole lot funnier. What you said? What you said? What you said? What you said? What you say? Iconic. Liu Kang Black Hole Fatality from Mortal Kombat 1. Still one of my favorite fatalities of all time in a game. Sure, it's very cheaply made, and I didn't have the skin fall off of Anarchist's face, but what do you expect me to do? Make something amazingly high budget? I don't even have a budget. You keep switching every single character, Joe.
Welcome to the Avalengers last track. So what are you gonna do now, Avalanche? First, I'm gonna find out where the hell Spider-Boy is. And then I'm gonna pay my tributes to Stark. What about you? Me? I'm just gonna go enjoy the world and not be in the movie to kill someone. It's not a bad way to start out a new life. boy. You messed out big time on a huge boy. Where have you been then?
Reuniting with Max Holloway, right, Max? And then you got the Venom reference. I still can't believe they put Maroon 5 as the sad music in that movie. It's too funny. There's Mr. Stein. His voice is inspired by Rip Torn, if you didn't know, who is, of course, the guy that... Firstly, he was the dad in Freddy Got Fingered, but a more notorious role he was in, Men in Black, but also he's, Lou in B-Movie. Sergeant Lou. The one who, like, sends them all out to fly. He's basically like Gunnery Sergeant Hartman, but a B. If that makes sense. The makeup done on my face here was immaculate. Shout out to my mother. Now the war's over. Season 2, I'm gonna be honest, my favorite season by far. Season 2 was the best one. That doesn't mean season 1 and 3 were bad. It's just season 2 I had the most fun making. And you got this amazing music for the credits. If you don't know what song this is the credits to Mortal Kombat 11. And just, the music's just amazing. How they did it was the credits are like slow-mos of like fatalities happening, and then the credits roll after each kill. It's like you got Scorpion throwing a spear through Raiden's face, and then the credits roll. And then I made this fast-paced montage to wrap it up. I'm gonna skip the mid-credit scene and go right into season 3, though. I'm sorry this isn't the full series commentary like I thought I would end up doing. It's just, I really do not want to stall for that long. So here we go. The Avalengers Season 3 commentary, with plenty of behind-the-scenes facts and more to be heard from me when we watch. 3. Alright, starting with Season 3, Episode 1, A Life in a Day. 3, 2, 1, play. Mixed up all the different intros here. The Avalanche Pictures series card from Season 1, the Season 2-esque intro with Avalanche throwing the cape and then drop-kicking Anarchist. And then your first look at Astro with Beetlejuice's hair, aka Green Astro.
Ready, Avalanche?
This episode's more just a setup for what comes up later with episodes 2, 3, and 4. And you'll see. It's also to build like some character development between Avalanche and Astro. I did that one on the first take. Most of the stuff I shoot until it sounds and looks perfect, but the hair twirl I did on my first take to be as awkward as I could. Now for this clash, I decided to change the way they look by like moving the camera between each dialogue to be more like Injustice 2. This part's a reference to the movie Open Season. Right here. It ain't my fault he fell. Which, if you don't get the reference, this is Open Season when Shaw goes, "It ain't my fault he ran right in front of my truck," and then it cuts to him running over Ashton Kutcher. I revamped Big Bat's iconic theme song for this season. And the idea of Big Bat having insane brain rot actually came from a bunch of torture from being in middle school and high school. Brain rot was genuinely a problem. Also, this dolly zoom. Believe it or not, I didn't have any help making it. I did it all by myself. What I did was I looked directly at my camera, slowly backed up, and then digitally zoomed forward so it looked like a dolly. Sure, I could have had someone else help me out with it, but I was completely alone that day and doing nothing. The punch. It's one of my favorite clips of this entire show. There you are, my skibidi. Bah! It's really funny, though.
See you later.
Bruh. Now, the cloak is, of course, the Ghostface cloak that I used for Season 2 for Anarchist, but the reason I gave him the cloak was, number one, so he'd look unique, and secondly, because I thought it would be cool. Which is pretty clear. And then Stryker's back, of course. And his horns are missing, which... There's a small detail about that, like... It's kind of like a, did you catch that? But most people didn't catch it, but yeah. Stryker's horns are missing there because, number one, I wanted it to be like a bit of like a, oh wow, his horns are missing. But secondly, it was because I wanted to like, originally I was going to have Stryker have a kind of redemption arc, but it didn't fit his character in the end, and also there's other twists that happen later on. It would have contradicted with it heavily. After I bullied him to death is some of my best joke. Or one of my best jokes. Let's go crazy. Stryker's normal voice actually sounds like this. Let's go crazy. And then I have the normal track and then a second version of the same track pitched down a little bit. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. All these dance credits were fully improvised by me. Now here's episode 2, 2.5 complexities. I'm still very apologetic for the excessive delay that there was between episode 1 and 2, but it took a long time to put this together. And then you got this iconic 2.5 Men parody intro. Good night, Alexander, I love you. My best friend in the comments. You got this 2.5 Men parody intro. I've never actually seen 2.5 Men before, believe it or not. Only pieces of it. The punch, I just added because I thought it would be funny. And that's just my pillowcase. This is the pillow that I threw in the shed. No, it did not break a glass. It's just a sound bite. Originally, this part of Astro going to check the mail is going to be more drawn out. Like, firstly, I was going to do a parody of Blue's Clues when they do the mail intro. But then when he actually goes and gets the mail, I was going to do a parody of a clip from back at the barnyard when Otis is checking the mail. He goes, "Man, I feel great. Nothing could ruin a day like this." Because he gets a letter from his childhood bully in the original. I don't have that problem. That's a reference to Batman Brave and the Bold. Lots of 2025 movies referenced here. Weapons. Weapons are for sinners. Damn. But they are of sentimental value, which all those movies are Best Picture nominees. I really hope it's Sinners or no, Weapons didn't get nominated Best Picture. Kind of snubbed, in my opinion. But like Sinners, Weapons, One Bow After Another, or Sinners, Sentimental Value, One Bow After Another were all nominated for Best Picture.
I just had the best idea, Avalanche. Alright, go ahead. They're going to come into the front field. Wait. You locked the door, right?
This was kind of added in last minute because, so like, the joke of him forgetting to lock the door was actually, like, the bit of him, firstly, let me talk about that pistol shot. When I grabbed the pistol tossed at me, I just did that in reverse. But, what was I saying, though? The joke about Astro forgetting to lock the door was a last-minute thing because I realized, how would Anarchist have even been able to get in if the door was locked? I figured it'd be funny if he didn't. And then you got this Batman Arkham Game Over screen parody here. And then another classic reference here. I have plans. Oh wait, you're still conscious. This is a reference to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, one of the best video games of all time. The original, not the other one. Which I won't spoil what that part is because it's awesome. But yeah. Also, the glasses breaking, they actually broke on complete accident. They like fell off my shelf at one point, and the stick that like goes to your ear, one of them snapped off, and like to the point where I couldn't fix it. So I had to like, I just improvised and then added anarchist stepping on the glasses. Which, funny enough, despite me stomping on them with a shoe, didn't break at all. But hitting carpet breaks them every time, I guess. This intro is a parody of Kung Fu Panda Legends of Awesomeness, which is one of my favorite shows from when I was a kid. Legends of the Avalengers! I was going to do the full intro, but it's a minute long, and that would have been way too much. You might think you know, but you have no idea. A tradition for every season. We gotta say that at least once. And each one happens in the same place, Avalanche's living room. Also, there's a portrait of my bearded dragon, Tank. Well, technically, she was my aunt's, but she lived here for a while. And then she went back home with my aunt. You inglorious bastard! Of course, that's a reference to the movie Inglourious Basterds, directed by the legendary Tarantino. The voice change there was, number one, because someone genuinely asked me once, what does his voice sound like without the filter? This is what it sounds like. And secondly, I thought it'd be funny to just randomly have his voice change.
God damn it! Screw this. I'll fight you either way.
This was also the last episode before I not just got my hair cut and also my mustache shaved. And then I filmed the finale 3 days ago, I think, or 2.
Oh, God. Yeah, and you win this round. Just let us go.
This part was going to be more drawn out, but animating was being painful. Also, he lands, because I didn't want to use where I actually live, I just looked up the address of Patchy the Pirate from SpongeBob's house, and then went on Google Earth and zoomed out and zoomed in for him falling into the house. So yes, he just lands in the house of Patchy the Pirate. Mission 14. Mission 14, the name behind that, number one, is inspired by Protocol 10 from Batman Arkham City. But secondly, the reason it's 14 specifically is because there are 14 episodes of the Avalengers.
So, I recently discovered a new DNA called
Zergoliosis, I didn't come up with a name for anything specific, it's just everything Zergon or Zergonian have to start with Zerg before it. And which, yes, that name technically came from Emperor Zurg from Toy Story.
I wanted to kill him.
I wanted to kill him.
You know what? All these years,
I think Avalanche just genuinely wanted to be a radio star or a video. He wanted to be video and kill the radio star.
This is it. Just wish I could have apologized to Cliff. I wish I didn't meet all those grasshoppers.
That line was improvised. I originally just said I wish and then didn't actually specify what for Astro to say, and I just came up with that because it was the first thing that came to mind, eating grasshoppers, because I used to do that every single Thursday. No, I'm kidding, I don't eat grasshoppers because I'm not a weirdo. Jagger, I got the moves like Jagger, I got the moves. Ooh, is that Jagger? To be concluded, another little detail. And also that dance is from Just Dance 4's Moves Like Jagger, which is one of my favorite Just Dances of all time. And now here we are, the finale, a divine proclamation, which the name was inspired by the song Divine Proclamation of Finishing the Present Existence by The Last Days of Humanity, or by the band Last Days of Humanity. Peak band, by the way. Also, this was when I cut my hair, shaved my mustache. It'll grow back eventually. And I'll look like Ron Burgundy, likely. All of this, like, I used to hate Milo, this flashback is all well, not flashback, but, like, this mention of Milo and stuff is actually referring to Avalanche 3, which is a very old movie I made. And also, of course, Milo was just his own character. I wrote him on TikTok and then turned him into a movie. kind of regret making the movies, and that's why I killed him off in season 1 of the Avalengers. And the only reason I put him in Avalengers to begin with was just to give him a fair goodbye. But I shot and killed him. And then we got the intro. I love this intro so much. The Peacemaker intro from season 2. Done by yours truly. Julian. It's a hungry world. They're gonna eat you alive. The pianos from SpongeBob, of course. Wait, where'd you get that piano? Then we got Doctor Strange portals here. With the return of Stark. Originally, he was not set to return, and originally Avalanche was just going to flat out break out of the thing, but I thought it would be so much cooler to have the return of a character from heaven. Because remember, these characters break out of hell every season, but not this time.
Let me just break you in Astro out of the cuffs? Yeah,
and of course, Stark now knows that Astro's an Avalenger.
Oh, I do have another one of these. You're supposed to kill me because you can't. You're exactly the same. You sure this works? Yeah, well, this one just doesn't change your uniform. Don't it come unprepared?
That is an Oculus remote. Originally, the Mission 14 anarchist bots were going to have like a more fleshed out fight, but I thought it would be funnier for them to not do anything. And the sound of that punch was actually me punching my garage door. Because they're made of metal. They're robots. Except for the ability to dance, of course, because anarchists used to know how to dance. My world like nobody else, the way that you flip your hair gets me old. This is another Just Dance reference, because I love that map from Just Dance 4. You don't know you're beautiful.
You can keep on trying. They were mute to my dead. Why did they have named your palace? What were we going to do? There's only one way to solve this crisis.
That's a quote from season 2.
No, it's not going to be eating the bowl of mac and cheese.
Another season 2 reference from season 2, episode 3. Well, yeah, this is only Avalanche starting to realize that, like, Anarchist entirely rigged the system. He made unkillable robots, so the only way to kill them is to sacrifice yourself.
Avalanche, no!
This is Avalanche only figuring that out and wishing a goodbye. Hello, Danielle Stoner 7173. Thank you for joining the stream. I originally was going to record myself screaming in pain when I burned, but I thought it would be more suspenseful to keep it silent, kind of like in the movie Oppenheimer when it goes completely silent when the bomb drops. Which I think the movie Doctor Strangelove did the same thing. That's a great movie, by the way. If you haven't seen Doctor Strangelove, highly recommend. Zerglassen was just an improvised nickname. And no, that cough was not real. I faked a cough there. And this is the return of the Season 1 Astrofit. Which, that's sort of a reference to Deadpool and Wolverine. When Wolverine puts back on the classic mask from the comics. That's the knife he killed Stryker with. And it's not the same one I used for Ghostface. That one glows well, like it has a glare because of the material it's made of. That one's a different one that came with my Ghostface cloak.
Well, I guess I'm in hell again. I'm sure Stryker's next here.
This is the debut of a new character, Satan.
Hello, anarchist.
The voice, I got the idea from Jack Black, because I love Jack Black.
Satan, and we're gonna watch a movie. Ooh, what's this one? They call it War of the Worlds.
I suffered through War of the Worlds before seeing this. War of the Worlds is abysmal garbage, but it ain't anywhere near as bad as Emilia Perez was. Emilia Perez was borderline unwatchable, but I still survived it and wish I didn't watch that garbage. But War of the Worlds was still terrible. Matt Berry impression done by yours truly. I might be making another short film of the Avalengers where we get to see gameplay of Avalengers Unite, but I'm still trying to figure out the works with that, because the idea is that I won't be playing the characters and I'll be having other people play the Avalengers because they don't have Avalanche's face model, because Avalanche is dead.
But weeks after his first
Successful NASA
spacecraft launch, died of Lou Gehrig's disease.
Which the Lou Gehrig's disease joke is from the movie Ted, which is kind of, it's a reference to how in one part of the movie they wish for one of the characters to die of Lou Gehrig's disease, and then it literally happens in the end of the film.
The best character of the whole show, and he disappears after season 1. Well, he's the only Avalenger who is still alive as of today. He became a UFC fighter and is now currently married.
I worked with Caleb to write that idea.
Stuck in the shed Avalanche tossed him in. Eventually, he died in the winter due to frostbite. And when discovered by the next resident at Avalanche's old house, said he looked like Jack from The Shining. And as for
Shining's one of my
Avalanche
favorite
himself,
movies too.
why do I smell barbecue?
That line's a reference to The Simpsons when they sleep through church and then Homer ends up in hell and he goes, "Oh, I smell barbecue." But yeah, that's the Avalengers Season 3. The credits music's, of course, Heroes by David Bowie. I got the idea from Regular Show, not Stranger Things. Seriously, I have no idea what that finale was with Stranger Things. I think I'm one of the few people who just really cannot get into Stranger Things. I wish you could swim like dolphins. Oh, wait, no. Like dolphins can swim. Though nothing will keep us together. Very good song. I love that song.
Day 392 in hell. Deeply isolated. No problem.
I originally didn't end up doing this post-credit scene, but the reason I kept it was because I wanted to wish Avalanche a fair goodbye and confirm that there will never be a season 4 of the Avalengers.
Winning.
And that's Satan who dropped the anvil on him.
Look, that was a Charlie Sheen reference.
Winning is that thing that Charlie Sheen always says something about. He's like, winning. I don't know. I haven't seen 2.5 Men, but that's what I was quoting. Alright, well, that was the Avalengers Season 3 Director's Commentary. I'm sorry it wasn't the full series Director's Commentary, but yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you around. Have a good night.